Our library has millions of resources. We have 14,000 books in print, but online we have lots of ebooks and audiobooks and articles and journals and videos, films, documentaries, and more. Newspapers. So there is a catalog to help you search all of these resources. Obviously, most of the resources are behind a paywall. They cost money to access. And so our catalog gets you into those resources. If you sign in and you're a student here, then you have access for free. So how do you access all these resources? If you go to the Eastern Shore Community College website, and then in the top right corner, click Learning Resource Center, go to the library page, scroll down just a little bit, and the very front and center button is Quick Search Library Catalog. That's the catalog to search all our millions of resources. And then just like a Google search, you type in what you want. If you type in something vague like literature, you're probably going to get way more resources than you want. Right here, I got 6 million resources. I'm still going to type in something way too vague, nutrition. But so you obviously want to narrow your search and be more specific about what type of nutrition you want to learn about. So narrowing your search is important, but also you can filter, and on the right, we have this filter menu. And so I'm going to go through the filter menu and tell you a little bit about what's there. Full text online means that it's all there. Sometimes some of our resources just provide the title and the author of the article or the book and maybe a summary about it, but don't actually give you the full article. And so you just generally always want to click that full text online. Or maybe you want to click Held by Library if you want a book that's physically located in the library. If you just like it better that you can see it, then you might want to check Held by Library. Peer-reviewed journals are something you'll have to check the guidelines of your project or ask your professor to see if this is required. Many academic classes require that you have peer-reviewed journal articles. By peer-reviewed, that means one person wrote it, or maybe more than one person wrote it, but some other outside expert has also reviewed it and said, yes, this is logical. So the language is often a little bit harder, more academic in these peer-reviewed journals. So if you're not required to use them, you might want something simpler, but generally, you're gonna be required to have peer-reviewed journals. Resource type. You can see we have lots of different resources. So maybe if you know you want books, or you know you want journals, or you know you want a video to put in your presentation or article, you might check one of these boxes or multiple of these boxes. The one resource which is a little bit different is newspapers. Everything else, unless you specifically say, I only want journals, it will include all those other options in your search. However, newspapers will not be included in a general search, and you specifically have to mark, I want to search newspapers. So just keep that in mind. And then the last thing on the filter menu that I want to talk about is the publication date. And this, again, kind of varies by your topic. If you're talking about the Civil War, for example, and you want a primary source, you want a firsthand account of someone who was living during that time, then you might want to put in the dates of the Civil War. However, Some areas, health, for example, you want the latest and most up-to-date research. And so you're going to put in the last 5 years. If you're talking about technology, well, a lot's changed in AI, for example, in the last 5 years, a lot. And then COVID's another example of something that's changed a lot in the last 5, 10 years. So you might want to make sure it's more recent. Even in other fields, um, like my field's been English, and I've still had professors who've required more recent material. So you might want to make sure your professors aren't requiring that all of the articles be published in the last 10 years or so. So you can filter these and search. And then if you want to cancel those filters, you'd X out of it there. Now let's talk about the types of resources you might get back. So here's a book, and it says available at the ESCC Learning Resource Center circulating collection, and it gives a call number, RA784. That means it's physically located in our library. If it was checked out, then it'd say checked out, but it's available. And that call number tells you where to find it in our library. Our library's in alphabetical order, so a call number beginning with A would be in the A section. Here you're going to go to the R section. Here we have a journal, and it gives online access. So that is something you can access at home. You don't have to come to the library. Here we have a book, and you have your choice. We have it here in the library as a physical book. We also have an online ebook, so whichever you prefer. This, we have two versions. That just means this happens to be a video, and so we have the videos from two different databases, so you can access it in either spot. Doesn't really matter. Another video with online access, journal. And then here we have an article. And I love when it says download PDF. That's just the easiest way to access it is click that download PDF. But you can also click the article, and then right here, the Wiley Online Library Database, it's under the section View Online, and you're going to click that, and it's going to take you to a database. And so this database has lots of different articles, lots of different journals. And so the catalog is transferring you there so that you can access the article. And different databases and articles look different. This is what the Wiley database looks like. You can read the article, and if you want to click the PDF and get it that way, you can. If you want to share it with yourself, email it to yourself, you can do that. Sometimes there will be multiple databases that you could get the article from, and then you can click up whichever one you want. It really doesn't matter. They might look different. So here's what EBSCO looks like. And this is a whole journal. And so I can look and say, I want to look up issue number 2. I want to look at issue 4, the 2021 year. I can search within this journal about diet, etc. There is one last thing, well, two other things I wanted to talk about. And one is the citation. Often, if you quote from a source, you're going to be required to cite it to show that you didn't plagiarize. You can't just steal it. You have to give credit to the author of that work. And so the catalog does it for you. All you have to do is click citation, choose the citation that you need to use, If you're in English or history, you might be choosing the MLA format. If you're in the sciences, nursing, math, you might be choosing the APA format. So find out what your professor is requiring. Chicago might be history classes. And so then choose that. It'll give you the citation. You click copy the citation to clipboard. Also out here, you have that little quotation mark icon, citation, same thing. It will give you the citation that you can copy to clipboard. The last thing I just wanted to mention is you'll get better results if you sign in. Remember, most of our resources are behind a paywall. And so by signing in, you're saying, I'm an ESCC student. I get access to this resource. I don't have to pay. Good luck in your library catalog searches. And let us know if we can help you in any way.